MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com and State Farm.
The Ford Mustang is in its 55th year of production, and what better way to celebrate than to release the most powerful production model ever. Enter the 2020 Shelby GT500. A Shelby GT500 has been missing from the Mustang lineup for 6 years, and now it returns, but with a new mission. The last one we tested in 2012 had 662 horsepower and a solid rear axle, making it a great car to drive in a straight line. Fast forward to now, and the GT500 uses an independent rear suspension setup with MagnaRide and pumps out a cool 760 horsepower. That's courtesy of the 5.2-liter V8 from the GT350. Except in this application, Shelby swapped out the high-revving flat-plane crankshaft with a cross-plane crank and threw on a 2.7-liter Eaton supercharger, which engineers actually inverted to lower the engine's center of gravity. The rear wheels, wrapped in either Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's or optional Pilot Sport Cup 2s, receive power from a new 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission built by Tremec. No manual is available. With this information in mind, we hit the canyon roads outside of Las Vegas for a very responsible street drive. You know, this GT500 is billed as the fastest production Mustang in a straight line and on a road course, but nobody's really talking about its street manners, and let's be honest, most of these things are going to be on the street most of the time, so it's really important that they act politely on the street. Now with 760 horsepower, and let me repeat that, 760 horsepower, you'd think that it would be kind of a handful on the street, but Ford's done a nice job. It's actually pretty docile and subdued. This is a performance dual clutch transmission, and generally when you pair that with a lot of horsepower, it acts kind of rough, and I haven't noticed any of that. It's super smooth through the gears. Another thing I get to experience on the street drive portion is how comfortable the Recaro sport seats are, and they are comfortable. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, I'm a pretty skinny guy, but I'm still getting hugged really hard by these seats, and I like that. It feels comforting to me, but also when you're driving a little bit more spiritedly, you want to stay in place, and I haven't done a whole lot of that on the street. That's what the track portion of the drive is for. That's where we're headed right now. Once at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we hit the drag strip where we lit up the tires using line lock before laying down an 11.2-second quarter mile at 128 miles per hour. Ford says that time will go as low as 10.7 seconds with a 3.3-second 0 to 60 time. The dual clutch gearbox performs beautifully, cracking off lightning fast shifts with no perceptible interruption in power. Road course track time was spent in cars with the carbon fiber handling package, which in addition to the stickier Michelin rubber, includes exposed carbon fiber wheels and a two-way adjustable rear wing, providing up to 550 pounds of downforce at 180 miles per hour. Man, this car has power coming out of corners, and the braking's just so good. That threshold braking, and I'm just letting this thing shift for me because it's so fast and it understands when it needs to shift. I really don't see that I need to do it. Whew. So now that I have a second to finally cool down and talk about what I was just driving, the thing I like about this car is that even after all the excessive hard braking into corners, it's the subtle lifts off of the brakes and then onto the throttle that get you in the right direction. I mean, it's almost counterintuitive, but it doesn't take long to get used to the fact that if you just lay into the throttle a little bit, I mean, I'm not talking about get all the way down on it, but if you give it just the right amount of throttle, it does exactly what you want it to do. I think it's really impressive what Ford and Shelby has done with the GT500. I mean, it is no longer just a straight line car. This thing handles a road course extremely well, and to see where they came from the last generation GT500 to now is just an astounding leap up, and kudos to them for making it. The 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 goes on sale this fall with a starting price of around $74,000. We'll have our full road test review on the GT500 coming up very soon on MotorWeek.